As you all know, over the past few months, the U.S. has been attacking our military, some boats in the Caribbean that are allegedly smuggling illegal drugs into our country. Well, the situation significantly escalated this week when the U.S. seized an oil tanker off of Venezuela's coast. That tanker was allegedly being used to transport oil from Venezuela and Iran in violation of U.S. sanctions.
The Department of Justice requested and was approved for a warrant to seize a vessel because it's a sanctioned shadow vessel known for carrying black market sanctioned oil to the IRGC, which you know is a sanctioned entity. So the president is committed to stopping the illegal flow of drugs into our country. He's also fully committed to effectuating this administration's sanction policy, and that's what you saw and the world saw take place yesterday.
All right, that was White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt yesterday during her press briefing. Well, as you can imagine, the Venezuelan government has accused the U.S. of blatant theft, and they've described the seizure of the oil tanker as an act of international piracy. Well, what can we make of all of this and the latest escalation of it all? Well, joining me now to discuss this is retired Brigadier General John Teichert. He's a former Assistant Deputy Undersecretary for the Air Force for International Affairs. General Teichert, always great to have you joining us on Washington Watch. Thank you.
Jody, thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about this seized oil tanker. Reportedly, this thing has spent literally years trying to slip through the seas unnoticed. So what can you tell us? Any more information to provide more context, perhaps, on the move of the Trump administration on this oil tanker?
Jody, the Trump administration has a very good chain of custody about where this tanker has been, but I also think they're now zeroing in on something that will absolutely make an impact in Venezuela, on Maduro and his inner circle, which is stopping some of the flow of oil from Venezuela to the rest of the world. That Venezuela makes 70 to 90% of their federal government income by exporting oil. And now this and the chilling effect it will have and deterrent effect it will have on other exports of oil will start to really significantly impact the ability of the Maduro regime to fund itself.
So how do you respond to the allegation that this was blatant theft, as the Venezuelan government claims?
Jody, it goes back to the idea that the United States has a very sound chain of custody and recognizes that this tanker and its activities have been specifically sanctioned by the United States of America. And the thing that makes this activity different than the strikes on drug boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific is that it was done under law enforcement authority. There was a warrant, that there was this chain of custody that I described, and this is the United States enforcing our law and international law against the sanctioned activity that this boat has been a part of for the last several years.
All right, so within that context, Venezuelan President Maduro, he's alleged that the U.S. military buildup is really aimed at overthrowing him and thereby gaining control of that nation's, OPEC nation, their resources. So what do you make of that argument and the overall military buildup in the region?
Jody, I think Nobel Peace Prize winner Machado has been describing it best in that there are two primary reasons why the United States has a keen interest in Venezuela. Number one, that it is at the nexus of all of the major problems in the Western Hemisphere. That includes drugs, that includes mass migration, that includes foreign malign influence in the region, and includes narco-terrorism. And then number two, that Venezuela provides a safe haven for America's enemies in our own backyard. And I think those two arguments, though the administration has been making those arguments as good as they should have, that Machado has been helping us out by describing why Americans should be interested. And I think those two arguments make it very clear, in addition to oil and critical minerals, why Americans should be interested in making sure that we eliminate those challenges that uniquely exist in Venezuela and the Maduro regime.
While we have just a couple of minutes left, I wanted to get your take on the controversy over the double tap, if you will, the strike on the supposed drug boat that was, of course, all of this was at the center of a bombshell report here lately. Do you think, General, that the War Department is walking a fine line here, or are they clearly, are they in the right or the wrong?
Jody, I think it was very telling that though the Senate hearings confirmed that the Secretary of War did not explicitly call for the double tap, there were two other factors that are interesting. Number one, almost immediately, the President of the United States said that he would not have authorized or supported a second strike. And I think that's telling, coming from the mouth of the President. And I think, secondly, that we are hearing that the Department of War changed completely their rules of engagement after that double tap to make sure that we now capture prisoners instead of strike those helpless survivors. And I think both of those factors are telling, in a implicit admission by the administration that they were not happy with the double tap and they would not have supported it going forward.
Very interesting. Well, I tell you, there's so much going on and a lot of questions overall about the use of the military, be it in the Caribbean right now or even the National Guard in cities with crime. So getting your input on all of this is just extremely helpful. Thank you so much, retired Brigadier General John Teichert. Always an honor to have you on the program with us. Thank you, sir.
Jody, the honor's all mine. Thank you, sir.